Members of the union showed up in large numbers to show support for their fellow officers who have been under fire by the police chief. John Krupinski with the Connecticut State Fraternal Order of Police says social media posts were circulating online, showing several officers changing in the parking lot. Krupinski says that is because Chief Secura closed up the locker rooms and told them to go home to change. But the officers refused, afraid to bring coronavirus back home to their families.
And then to discipline people after you told them to stay in the parking lot and change their clothes because they were in the parking lot changing their clothes, doing what they were told to do, disciplining them because somebody took photos. Well, that's what happens when you're out in public.
The union says when the officers spoke out against this, the chief had them investigated by Internal Affairs. The organizer of the rally, Chris Jones, says he felt like he had to say something since his father and grandfather were Shelton police officers.
They got reprimanded for changing in the parking lot. Indecent exposure, the chief of police called it, and has brought 14 officers up on indecent exposure charges.
Mayor Loretti also under fire.
It was brought to the mayor's attention, and he didn't care. He backed up his chief 100%.
The incident remains under investigation. Fox 61 reached out to the police chief and the mayor and have not yet heard back. Moving forward, the union says they hope they can sit down with the mayor and the chief with hopes to reach an agreement or continue the conversation. Reporting in Shelton, Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.